Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm just going to be showing you how to do this pretty easy pattern. Even though it's really simple, it's one of my favorite ones to do just because you can get a lot of detail out of it and it looks really neat, and it really only takes like 2 or 3 tools at the minimum. So yeah, I'm just doing this on a random shaped piece of leather. You could do it on any leather that you want, whether it's like a wallet or a belt or something. The same rules apply. Pretty much just lay out diagonal lines and then go through and tool them. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and let's get started. The first step will be to take a ruler and line up one of the edges from one corner to the other corner of the piece and just sketch in a line with the AP pencil. And then without moving the ruler, I'll go ahead and trace the other side just from border to border. So you have the 2 lines there. And then with the line that you drew on the opposite side of the ruler, I'll line up with that one and then draw another line. And that's how I get my spacing between lines. So just go ahead and do that until you run out of border. All right. And then just go ahead and do that on everything of the left now. And that's all for those lines. So now, in order to get the checkerboard pattern, we'll do some lines going perpendicular to them. If you wanted to, you could do a straight 90-degree angle and that would get you square pieces, but I normally offset them a little bit to kind of get a diamond shape to it. So it doesn't really matter what angle you pick, but just line it up whatever angle you want to do. Do that. So I'll draw my line, do the other side. And then do everything to the left. And that's all there is for the layout. Should be left with this sort of pattern. Again, I angled mine, so I've got more of a diamond shape to them, but you could do more of a square, whatever you prefer. The next step will be to take the swivel knife and cut out all of the lines, including the border. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I got all the lines cut out. So this is where you'll actually start tooling it. And what you're gonna do is pick a line to start on. So like if you start here, and then just bevel whichever way you want to. Say you bevel this way, out this way. Anytime you cross over a line, you'll just switch sides. So you'll bevel this way, and then on this line you'll bevel that way, and then this way, and that way. And then say you bevel this way. I don't know if you can see that arrow, but on that line pointing out, then on this line that's across from it, you're going to bevel in towards that other line. So those two lines are kind of pointing in towards each other. And then on these lines adjacent from those two, you're gonna bevel away from it. So like that. I don't know if you can see those arrows, but it might be easier to see once I actually do it. So pick a line and just bevel it. And then I come to this line, and then I'll switch directions on which way I'm beveling, and I'll just make my way down this cut. So now I can go ahead and do this line next to it, and following this principle, the line across from it, you'll bevel in facing towards it. Just like that. So now that I figured out which way that beveling goes, then I'll just continue going down the line, alternating which way I face the bevel. So now we have these two beveled in towards each other, and on any given one of these squares, you'll have two lines across from each other that face in, and then the other two lines across from each other will face out. So that would mean if these two are facing in, then these two lines are gonna face out. So I'll go ahead and bevel those lines. And then that's true, that same principle is true with all these squares. So this one, I have these two lines facing out away from each other, so then these two lines will be facing in towards each other. And this one's already beveled, so I just gotta go and bevel this one. And then I'll just move on down the line with that same logic. So these face in, these face out. Alright, so now that I have those directions figured out, I can just keep on going down these lines, and you can either do the method of just picking a line and then just going down that line, alternating them, or you can go off of the fact that you're gonna have two lines facing out and two in. You can just tool one square at a time. Whatever works best for you. I normally just will pick a line and then I'll just go alternating back and forth. So like this line is facing out, so then I'll work down this cut and alternate which way I'm beveling. Alright, so I got all the lines going this way. So now I'll get the lines going this way. To get started, I'll just do the thought process of having two lines across from each other on a square face beveled towards each other, and then the other two lines on that same square will get beveled out. And that's that's how I'll figure out which way to bevel on the lines that go this way, because I don't really have a starting point besides the ones we did here. So this one, these two lines across from each other are beveled out, and this one is beveled in. So that means that this line has to get beveled in towards that other one. And now that we figured out which way that one goes, we can do this whole rest of this line just by doing the alternating. All right, now I got all the inside lines beveled, so I'll just go and bevel the border line in. Alright, so that's all the beveling that I'll do for this pattern. Now what I do is I take a thumbprint that has the vertical lines in it, and I'll go through, and this is where it kind of gives the weaving pattern to it. But in each square, the two lines that are beveled in towards each other, I'll use the thumbprint and I'll kind of angle it like this so that it's deeper in towards the cut, and then it'll kind of fade out. But the two lines that face each other on each square, I'll use the thumbprint on those, and that's what'll kind of give it the depth, like it's weaving. And then you want to angle this so that it's parallel with the two lines on the sides, so that it has the right direction to it. So there's one side of the square, and then go ahead and do the other side facing that one. Just like that. So I'll go around to each square and do that same thing. Alright, so there it's all tooled out. If you wanted to, you could leave it there, but what I like to do is take this craft tool. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it has these little grooves in it, and what I'll do is, in the same direction that I did the thumbprint, I'll just take this tool and just run it over the center of it, and it'll just add some lines. It'll just add lines to it, just kind of give it some more detail. you just want to make sure that these lines are going the right way. So I'll go through and add those. All right. I'm not sure what this tool is called. I'll try to find it so that I can link it. But it's handy for other things like feathers and just stuff like that to add detail. But so there it is after showing that. I'm not sure if it'll look as good in camera, but in person I think it adds quite a bit. And then the last step that I'll do is take my swivel knife and add kind of decoration cuts. But unlike decoration cuts in a floral design, with this design you're just gonna do a couple light cuts. So and same with all the other tools, you want to do it in the same direction as each square goes. And just take the back of the knife and lightly put some cuts in. There you have the final design. So yeah, really easy pattern, fun to do. I hope you found this helpful, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you at the next one.